What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? It's your boy Jermaine Views. Listen, guys, there's a few things I want to check with today and touch today. Iran said that they're not negotiating, and yeah, they don't want to negotiate. However, Pakistan have confirmed that they are negotiating. Pakistan is the middleman between us and Iran through this negotiation phase, and Pakistan really delivered the United States 12-point plan to end this conflict, and Iran reciprocate by giving us two boats of oil. That's what the report is. But I guess Iran doesn't want to look weak by publicly acknowledging that they're negotiating with us to get end this conflict. So they're saying to the public on their state media, is saying that, oh yeah, we're not negotiating anything. We're in this to the end and we're not negotiating. But reports have shown that they are, and the Pakistanians are saying that they are the middleman for this negotiation. It is in the best interest of the Pakistan, the entire Gulf state, for this war to end because as we are hurting and they're hurting too. The Arab Gulf states, they're not making any money. The oil exporting countries, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, most of them who really export oil, they're not making no money. They're hurting. They're really hurting, and we're hurting too. Europe is hurting. The globe is hurting. And one country that is hurting the most, who won't publicly acknowledge that they're hurting, is China. Listen, a lot of China's economical power rests on oil imports. China import a ton of oil. And, remember China, Venezuela, and Iran love triangle where that thick crude was coming out of Venezuela going into Iran. Iran kind of diluted a little bit, sent it to China. Trump have now messed up all of that. So all of that love triangle is over with. Trump messed that up. So China cannot get any oil from Venezuela anymore like that at cheap prices or whatever it is, or the quantity that they used to get it there from. And the amount of oil coming out of Iran to China has diminished significantly since this whole conflict started. So it's in the best, it is in the best interest of China to help get this over with, guys, really soon, and really help the situation. A few weeks ago, there were reports that China was helping Iran by providing them GPS or GPS-alike data so they can precisely strike American targets in the area, in and around the area. And I'm not sure what come out of that if the report were accurate, but that's what I heard. But that's not in the best interest of China to be doing that, to have this war going along while they're hurting for oil. Because, and again, guys, look at the grand scheme of things. China's economy depends significantly on oil. If everything start going up, and China, and I mean not everything start going up. If China can't get oil, those prices we used to pay for Chinese manufactured goods 2, 3, 4 months ago, yesterday, the day before yesterday, a couple weeks ago, we gotta say goodbye to those prices because everything really depends on oil. And if China can't get the amount of oil they need to manufacture goods at a low price, the world is gonna get pinched. Trust me, the world is gonna get pinched. So China, it's in the best interest of China to help get this conflict solved. Because guess what? They won't be able to export goods at low prices, and that's one of China's biggest GDP um export. Yeah, exports on China. That's where they get most of their money from. Exporting manufactured goods, clothing, electronics, whatever it is. All the stuff you buy on Temu and Shein that comes out of China. Yes, all of that is gonna be impacted too. Temu, Shein prices gonna be impacted. Gonna be impacted. So the Gulf, let's pivot for a little bit. So the Gulf state, they they're on a united front and they're trying to help the United States get this thing sorted out real fast. So the Gulf states are united, and Europe. I'm not sure what Europe is. I'm really not sure what Europe is up to, but Europe doesn't present themselves to be very forthcoming and very useful to a certain extent or helpful in pressuring Iran to reopening the Strait of Hormuz. And I don't know. I don't know. Europe is never forthcoming with anything when it comes down to Americas, and America's depending on them as our ally. But this is what it is, guys. Gas regular hit $4 this morning, I believe, and diesel was I think it was 6.10 over here in the Northeast in Connecticut. So um, it is going. I'm not sure how long this is gonna go on for, how much this can, how sustainable these prices are at the pumps, but that's what gas hit this morning. Every day goes up like 10 to 15 cents a gallon, and that's what it is. Electricity rates are going up as well. I heard people complaining that Eversource rates are going up, and because of the gas and oil situation, because that's how Eversource are really manufacture electricity through oil or gas or whatever they use. But I heard people complain that Eversource bills are rocketing. So you see, guys, this is a worldwide global event, worldwide global impact that is rather, you know, just destroying the economy and destroying your spending power and destroying everyone's spending power. So I hope that, and again, I understand why the Iranians won't say that they are, they're negotiating with us. Trump offer or give them an extension. So now it is until April 6th. Let's pivot for a little bit. Trump gave the Iranians until April 6th to reopen that strait. If the Iranians don't open that strait on or before April 6th, they're going to be massive strike on their power and electricity infrastructure. One of the biggest. I think it says reports was like that infrastructure costs $10 billion to build. So if that doesn't happen by April 6th, if the strait is not reopened by April 6th, and there's no threat to the ships going through the strait or sailing through the strait, that's the consequence the Iranians gonna pay. The whole energy infrastructure that is gonna blow up. So why April 6th? He gave them a deadline. So you remember like a few weeks ago, last week, as I said before, there was like three ships, Navy destroyers, and like 2,500 Marines and paratroopers leave California to go over into the Gulf. So I'm guessing that because Trump is a strategy, like him or hate him, man, that dude's a strategy. I'm guessing that those troops and those assets are gonna get to that area around April 6th or a little bit before. So that's why he gave them April 6th to get this thing straightened out and get the strait reopened. I'm thinking that by that time we probably see boots on the ground, not significantly, but those islands, like the Clark Islands or whatever it is, I think that Trump might take that over, um, because that's a strategic point as it relates to the strait of safety and stuff like that. So he might take that over. Um, so yeah, it's there's a lot going on, guys. There's a lot going on that needs to be highlighted, and it's crazy. It is crazy, but Europe needs to do better. I believe Europe can do better, and they should do better in, you know, because Iran was a threat to everyone, You know what I mean? And you know, we're not doing. United States is not only doing this for United States purpose, but United States is doing this for the world purpose. Because look, that area is. Look, everyone was flocking to Dubai, to UAE to set up businesses because the amount of tax shelter is there, and you know you don't pay taxes and property. You don't pay like capital gains taxes and stuff like that. That area was flourishing, man. That area was there were people were flocking to that area, like setting up businesses, like make you know that area was really flocking. Airline flight, what is called? Which airline come out of UAE? I think it's one of those big airlines come out of that area. One of those big airlines come. I forget the name of it now. Which is and they are the hub of that area, and they transport people from there to Europe, to Australia, to the Americas, to New York, whatever it is. That area is a major hub for global commerce, global financing, and traveling and stuff like that. So, you know, that area needs to be stabilized. And a lot of those countries were trying to diversify the economy and try to remove themselves away from oil and gas and try to get into like financing uh, um, and real estate and stuff like that. And that has been impacted like significantly. It is. So uh, the Gulf states are really paying attention and they're really like getting themselves together and forming an alliance to really counter Iran's grip on things in the air in the region and really trying to like get this started out because they're not making any money. No one is making any money because the oil is not flowing. And when the oil flows, that's when money makes. That's when you make money when the oil flows. The oil is not flowing. So it's just a bad situation and it's gonna get even worse if this the strait is not reopened because we might sit here and talk all we want, but there's actually no substitute for oil and gas. At least as of now, there's absolutely no substitute for oil and gas. So we need a strait to reopen so we can figure this out, have goods and services move through the strait, and people and so on and so forth can travel and pay reasonable prices for airline tickets and also pay reasonable prices for food, gas, and energy, and so on and so forth. Like the supermarkets are crazy right now, prices are going up, everything is just getting out of whack right now. And that's what I have for you guys today. I want to say, guys, listen, man, I'm trying to do these streaming with the latest, and please remember like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell. But before we go, as we speak right now, the markets are down crazy because uh, the extension that Trump gave Iran didn't really move the market. We thought that the market would probably rally on that extension, but it didn't happen. The last time it rallied on the extension, and as we speak right now, the markets are down crazy. The Dow Jones is down like 700, 800 points. Um, uh, S&P is down, Nasdaq is down. Everything is down right now. So it is crazy. It is really stupid what's going on. Comment, like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what's going on, guys. What do you think? You think this is gonna end by next week? It's gonna go into the fourth week now, and I hope this thing doesn't drag into the FIFA World Cup period because if this happens, maybe a lot of flights won't be able to come out of that area. Because remember, a lot of those teams coming out of that area, Saudi Arabia is big in soccer right now, and they have to watch what's going on because I truly believe that the Iranians might start targeting commercial flights coming out of the region if this really escalates to the point where it doesn't stop until uh, the FIFA World Cup start. I do believe that these guys might start um, targeting commercial flights because they want to just stop the world. They just want to just. I think they want the world just to come at a standstill. That's why Trump is desperately trying to stop this before summer, before the World Cups start, and it's very close. It's very close. Saudi Arabia is big in football. Most of those Middle Eastern or Arab states are big in soccer. When I say football, I mean soccer. I'm Jamaican, so we call football soccer, etc., etc. So I'm just trying to link the terminology. So I'm really talking about soccer. So Saudi Arabia is big in soccer, and a lot of those guys going to be traveling here to the States, and a lot of money is going to be spending. And if this conflict really extend all the way to that point in time, it will get really ugly in terms of like how many people will actually make it to the events and the prices for the tickets for the events and just the whole construction and execution of the FIFA World Cup 2026 in the United States might be an ugly one if this conflict continues into the summer. So we desperately need this to stop. We desperately need this to just die out because who knows what the price of gas will be, price per gallon will be if that. Experts are saying that oil might go to $200 per barrel if this extend for like 2 to 3 months. And at $200 per barrel for oil, what will the price of 1 gallon of regular gas cost at the pumps? Just put that in perspective. Now oil is at like 110, 112, and gas hit $4 per gallon here in uh here in Connecticut. So just put that in perspective. Just put that in perspective. This is wild. This is some wild times. So please let us know, guys, what you guys think. Please remember like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell so you'll be notified. This is Jermaine Views, man. I'm out.